So welcome back, guys. Today I'm here to showcase the situations of Feng that will occur a lot of the time, so you know what to do and how to handle them. You will also see how to shut them down effectively, so if you're not a Feng player, go away. I don't want to show you. So we're first gonna take a look after down for 1 on block, which is a situation that will occur a lot of times. Most people know jabs will trade and grant you a good counter hit. Slower mid will lose to that for a free shoulder, and it tracks to his right. Doesn't track down side walking, but side walking is not that common. It doesn't track to his left at all, which is unfortunately a very common theme for Feng Wei. What does track both sides is fish hook, back 4. So you cannot step this at all, and also at range 0 it's very hard to backdash. If you block the down for 1 shallow though, it's very easy, and that is something that you have to pay attention to, because this on whiff will get you killed if this would have been a punish. So fish hook stops tracking, but both of those moves, if the opponent just does nothing, you're either -9 if he blocks the fish hook or -10 if he blocks the back 1, which is both very bad situations because you have to take a 50-50, either a punish or a 50-50 afterwards. You cannot use your evasion there, you just have to guess. One thing that is very important though is down 2, which crushes highs in this situation, can score counter hits and tracks to his left, and that is very, very important because that is his weak side. Of course it doesn't track down side walking, but sidestepping very reliably. Unfortunately, if he decides to go right, then he's completely open, which most people won't do because it's Feng's good side, actually, the right. The next thing that I will show you is down for 1, which has decent tracking to the left. That's because Heihachi is a big size character and it doesn't track reliably. Normally it doesn't have tracking to the left and to the right. So the move has some tracking sometimes, but I wouldn't count on it. And with a good timed step, you can eat a lot of shit. And please be aware, if they block it shallow, it's a general theme for Feng. If you get your down for 1 blocked shallow, do nothing. Just back away, because your range sucks. Next thing is down for 4. Why do I showcase this? Because it has some tracking to the right actually, and it's the only move that you can do when he blocked down for 1 shallow, without being him able to backdash this. Don't trick yourself though. If they block this, they at 0 range, they can easily sidestep the option. Like this. Or not. Well, or not. Usually at point blank it's very easy to sidestep. Could be Heihachi, but what I wanted to show you is actually at further away the tracking increases somehow. If they block this shallow, it is sometimes easier to step, but if they block it very, very close, sorry if I worded that wrong, it is actually has more tracking than it seems like, to his right and some to his left, but if they step perfectly, you're gonna eat shit. So how do we counteract this? With a very easy thing, down for 1 into sidestep left down for 1. And that is something that you have to learn. If he blocked the down for 1, realigning with a decent opponent is way more important than always throwing out a fish hook. Because even though the fish hook will track them down and grant you some damage, it's +2, they're too far away to do anything with it, and if they block it, you're -9. So it's very likely that you can eat more damage than you did when getting the fish hook blocked while not hitting it. Man, my English is strange. The thing that I want to transport here is that back 1 and back 4 both leave you at a very disadvantageous position if they get blocked. And you cannot always rely on down 2 and down 3 who have decent tracking. But of course, if they get blocked, you're gonna get punished for it. So what you have to keep in mind is realigning is more important than pressing buttons immediately. Because if you try to pin down your opponent with fishhook all the time, what will happen is that you give up your turn every time when they block it. The next situation that I want to show you is wild standing 1 on block. Wild standing 1 on block is -1 but has extensions. At -1, sidestepping is mostly the best option. Sidestep 4 is a very common one for onliners, but it's a very risky one and very, very easy to see because the sidestep is very deep and the move is rather slow, so it's very telegraphed. It is still a mix-up. You can do sidestep 1 plus 2, but very, very risky to do. What I like to do, again, you can still do fishhook. You can still do back 1, down 2 for tracking. But what is the best here is because you're -1, you can actually step block fishhook if you do it good enough, like this. You can step to his to his weak side and still block the fishhook, and he's still -8, which is pretty shitty. So what you really want to do, if they block this, try to sidestep and maybe apply pressure, or if they start backdashing, try to just do it again and push them to the wall, which is a way better situation than just going in and dying for it. The next situation I want to talk about is after hitting fishhook, and this is the last one for today. People see, oh yeah, I hit it. Now let's go, jabs and do shit, right? But the problem is that fishhook pushes you away on hit. Why didn't I show that? Wait. So if they block a down forward 1, they get hit by the fishhook. You cannot down forward 1. Because if they just hold back, they don't even have to properly backdash. They can just do a backdash like this, a stupid backdash, and still gonna evade your shit. Jabs have decent tracking, and his 1-2 needs the tracking, but as well can be just backdash the bad way. And the sidestep launchers also are very, very shitty. Here, like sidestep 4, because you're never gonna score a clean hit, not even at the wall. So that is one of his major issues. What you can do is down for 4, range-wise, of course, and you can do wild standing 1 afterwards. But both of those moves are very vulnerable because you're doing them like very linear, and can be sidestepped, even though wild standing 1 has decent tracking. But of course, in this regard, you gave up your turn and you gave up your plus frames, which means things like if you hit a back fishhook, don't always press buttons. If your down forward 1 is blocked, don't always press buttons. Keep more in mind to realign, to make them guessing again in the neutral situation with your back 1, for instance. If you can cover your weak side with FENG WEI and you're not falling for your own bullshit because he lacks range, then you're actually gonna be in a way better position, in my opinion. And what is also very, very important is, with FENG WEI, the only big sidestep punish you have is hop kick, because this has no range, it's very slow. So if they do a 1-2, for instance, and you want to punish them, you have to be ready with the hop kick. So overall, you're not gonna get as much damage because a lot of times you will just do jabs after sidestepping something, or you do a shoulder. And if the wall is not nearby, that won't grant you some damage, like if you sidestep down for 2 with the other character, who has a safe down for 2, you didn't risk anything, and now you're able to launch the opponent if he did something. That's not the case with FENG WEI. With Feng Wei, you chip the opponent down, you try to stay in their face, but you have to be aware of his range issues and when to press what. So I hope I really emphasized, man, my English is fucked, sorry. I really emphasized what to do and when to do it, and I will cover a lot of situations with this character. So I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.